Fourth year now of going with this group. We celebrated our third anniversary back in September. So we're here to talk about social marketing for business and how to generate measurable ROI from this practice. This is probably the most ethereal part of social media marketing. The use of it by business is really only, boy, it's less than 4 years old, I want to say. And so I think we're all still, as industries, really trying to wrap our arms around, do we belong here, and what should we be expecting, and so forth. And so that's what we're really trying to get to the bottom of. We have, our format here is to have a moderated conversation. I call it a conversation because if it's one person speaking out, that's really a fraction, a small fraction of the available knowledge that's available in this room. All of us, or most of us, are actually doing things right now. We're trying things, we're experimenting, we're succeeding with some things, we're not succeeding with others. We don't know if this is working out or not with yet others. And if we share those experiences, the available knowledge grows exponentially. So we have to have a conversation. Things have changed so much in marketing, and things change in social media all the time, right? I mean, any of us who work in it will tell you that anything we talk about this morning will change a little bit, tactically at least, by the time that we turn off our computers and go home for the weekend this evening, if there's such a thing. Yeah. Metaphorically speaking. But we used to, in marketing and in media, talk about eyeballs and impressions, and in print it was zip code dominance, and those things still exist, right? But we also had the luxury of having a lot of influence and control over the message that we as businesses put out there. Pretty much we were who we said we were, and now that's not the case anymore. Now we have Twitter accounts that are connected to our phones, and at any given moment I can tweet, and I can Facebook, and I can tell my group that I influence what I think about this person, this business, my experience. It happens like that. There's not a 24-hour news cycle anymore. Everything happens right now. So let's make sure we have a good, long conversation here about planning your social media marketing for 2013. Does anybody have a plan written out for social media marketing planning for 2013? I see a few. Elizabeth Lewis, law firm of E.C. Lewis.
I figured out what event was happening each month and how I could relate it to businesses. So, for instance, Labor Day is in September. I don't have my plan in front of me.
So that's correct.
Labor Day is in September. So September's theme is employment issues. Or people usually sign a new lease, or they start a business. A lot of people start a business because their first of the year goal is to not be where they are December 31st, the next December 31st. So my January plan is to talk about how to start a business. So I kind of themed each month and then said, this is what I need to do for Facebook, this is what I need to do on my blog, and this is what I need to do on my newsletter.
So you took advantage, you looked at holidays, at major events, and said, I'm going to theme my stuff around that.
Yes.
I don't know you, but you were sitting next to Elizabeth. You had your hand up.
My name's Jill Weishart, and I start with what things you have to do every month consistently. So I start with what are things that are absolute must-do to maintain my business and keep my products moving, and then I go to what things are happening, either trends in the business or things that are happening in the world, like Labor Day, that you want to include. But I start at the bottom of what do you absolutely need to do, and make sure that that starts, because you need to be consistent, and that's the piece a lot of people miss.
Can we talk about how Google Plus is going to affect social media and what that means? I know there's a lot of changes happening with Google Plus.
Anybody having any success in engagement on Google Plus?
Google Plus now requires you to put your avatar, your face, your information before you can leave a business referral or a review of a business.
Right.
So I'm advising my clients
I
to...
think that you've started having if you want to start a Gmail account, you have to have a Google Plus
Yes,
account.
you have to have a Google Plus account, which
Right.
actually means that trolls and people who just want to do you damage can't do it anymore because you have to have your face there with the comment.
Okay.
So it's a positive thing, even though it's a bit more of a pain in the butt, but the comments are more honest that people leave to review your business.
All right. And it also puts a barrier in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if I don't want to sign up for another thing, I will just walk away.
Right.
And this is where this stuff has to go. Has to go. If internet search is going to remain relevant, then it has to show you not only what the company says about itself, what people to whom you're connected say about this thing. Okay? So Kevin left this review. Mike, you know Kevin. Kevin left this review about this company that you're researching. Right? This is the only way that this comes together. So Google is doing some things. Your Google Places page is now a Google Plus business page. All right? Which is a disastrous deal. They bought, what is it, Peter, Zagat? Is that it?
Yes, Zagat.
Is it Zagat or Zagat?
Zagat.
All right, well, whatever this is, they acquired this thing, and the integration has not gone well, all right? And so if you're having problems with your Google local listing, join the club. I have lots of clients who call me frequently about this. It's a real issue. And so the ability to leave comments, there's all these barriers they put in there. There's all these things where they say, okay, this is how they're drawing people in, but that doesn't mean that people are actually engaging in the network. What I see on Google Plus is a lot of nothing, all right? It's a lot of broadcasting to an empty channel.
The interesting thing about Google Plus, and yeah, they're taking a long time to gain their traction, but because everything you want to do with Google, and we're all using Google, is on Google Plus now,
Yeah.
we're all going to end up migrating over there. And I just started using their Google Hangouts thing, which is a fantastic way to interview and talk with people around the world, and then that video instantly goes to YouTube. It is brilliant. And so it's not, yeah, it's going to take a long time for it to gain traction, and I don't know if it's ever going to become a social network, but it is going to be the place for data, because we use it to create data in Google products, and then it's right there.
Well, also with Google Plus, if you are taking your blog posts or your articles and putting them on there, it gets indexed immediately. And so if you've done your keywords right and what have you, we can get those things ranked in the search engines very quickly. Also, it can essentially send emails out to people who are your followers that you have some new content. So there's a lot of effective things that can be used.
One of the barriers that comes in is the amount of time. It is all the time. So there's none of this launch and forget it. Even in an advertising campaign on social, you're constantly in there looking at the results, tweaking the demographics, tweaking the reach, tweaking the budget. So it is just an ongoing deal. So these are great points about Google Plus as a tool. But I bring up the dashboard because these things allow you to like schedule things. They'll help you aggregate the content and break it down into ways that make it easier for you to consume. If you've got a post that your research indicates this would go out very good, the best time for me to put this out is at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. You don't have to be there at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning to put it out there. You can schedule it out. Now, Candice has pointed out earlier in previous iterations of this group correctly that the Facebook algorithm punishes that when you use a Hootsuite or a TweetDeck. And Brandon and I had a long conversation about this recently, and we said this is a trade-off, right? So you may get 60% of the reach from posting it through an aggregator, from saying, I'm going to put this on Hootsuite, and Facebook's going to penalize that. But what's your time worth? Who else is looking forward to stuff in 2013? Tricia.
I'm actually taking a page from Andrea Steffen, and I'm going to start blogging every day with, obviously with the onset of Amendment 64, people have a lot of questions about marijuana, and it's a great time
and
for
your
us.
business because you want to smoke a lot of marijuana?
Absolutely.
Tricia tell us what your business is.
It's 5280 drug testing.
So this is relevant.
So I have lots of testing opportunities. No, I'm just kidding. But no, obviously with Amendment 64, there's a lot of people asking a lot of questions about how it's going to affect federal corporate drug testing policy and recreational testing as well. So blogging every day about that, I think, will be a fantastic way for us becoming a credible source for all things Amendment 64.
Okay, so right there, what's your goal behind doing this? You just said it.
Education.
Education and becoming a thought leader, right? Becoming recognized as a credible source. This is a place that I can go for this information. These people are on top of it, they're keeping track of it, and they're giving me information. So I don't have to go figure out where to go for this information. I can just come here. This is one of the potential benefits of social.
I was going to say the HR people are going nuts over this. I assume that's one of your main
One of my
targets.
target markets.
Hey, what do I do? How do I handle that in the workplace?
And you know what? The funny thing is, things for, just FYI, things probably won't change in here from that standpoint for a while, but nobody knows that. So it's about even comforting people to let them know that.
What's the name of your blog?
It's 5280 drug testing. It's called The Stash. We have a little humor in the business too.
And chocolate chip cookies.
Well, once a day is going to be a lot. I mean, do you think you should start off with?
Well, I figure it doesn't have to be a novel, but even just for me, posting things like Douglas County is blocking, it's making a move to block Amendment 64. So even just putting a little bit of something out that with some reference back to the story. Still it filters people in through.
Are you doing this to your Facebook page, or where is the blog? Where
It's attached to my website.
To your website.
And then I post it to Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
You know what? There's so many people in my world that get in trouble and do crazy things on drugs on a daily basis that I have lots of stuff to.
If I could just get a little bit of feedback, I'm fairly new to the blogging. What platform is best? I know that's a really open,
Well, let me just say that as a
like as a business blogging for business.
platform, I think you should have a blog on your website.
Yes.
Right.
A blog. Okay, so you don't do like external links to like Blogger or anything like that.
No. It should be hosted to your website.
Okay.
Tommy?
Thank you.
I think blogging is something that we're focusing on our social media group within my corporation. We have a public blog site that gets some hits, mostly from our association folks, but it's something that's within our strategy is to push that more. So blogging is kind of out there. We just talked about blogging with 3 or 4 other people, and I just wanted to bring up that in our corporation we're looking to do more blogging and really ramp up that particular asset that we have. So.
The trick is to go see what people are searching, right? What words they're using when they look for this stuff online. If you can pepper that, boom, boom, boom. I don't saturate it, right? But use strategically these specific keywords that are online. So if you're actually starting conversations, if you're putting new content out online, you're in the 1% in the top 1 percentile.
Facebook, 2013.
Welcome. So what questions, comments,
Okay,
Because I don't see it.
No.
Okay, now you had mentioned that video content, correct? Okay, and that could be something that instead of doing a big long-winded thing, it's like, what's your fitness tip to get, what does 20 minutes? Establish yourself as the expert for your business that people will look at and go to. And establish your face as the company face and the company's source of information. So every time you make a short video, it's just about you talking. So they want to look at it real quick. Okay, boom. Amendment 64, what does it mean to me? Can I get high before work? Probably not. Okay, so there's my tip.